morning, teacher.
Good morning, Regina. How are you?
Fine. And you?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, Marisa.
Good morning, teacher.
For the second day, for the second session in a row, I forgot to bring water. So I'm going to suffer today. Here comes Efrain. Efrain, good morning. Nina. Aaron.
You still on time, teacher? You can go for water.
Oh, the thing is, I am at school, and there's at the prepa, and there isn't anything near there isn't an Ox or any place that I could buy water. That's the problem. Yeah, thank you, Regina. Thank you. Aaron, Efraín.
Good morning.
Good morning, Efraín. Efraín, Georgina, José Luis. José Luis, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Ana Karen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's me, Gabriela.
Gabriela, Ana Karen.
It's my daughter's name.
Okay. José, good morning.
Morning, teacher. Morning,
Good
everyone.
Miriam, welcome. Good morning. So, Gabby, Miriam, Azarelli, good morning. Here comes Ignacio. Azarelli, Ignacio.
Pasarelli's spirit.
Georgina, Aaron, Marisa. Where's Marisa? Marisa?
I'm here.
Yeah, sorry. Efraín, José Luis, Gaby, Josué, Miriam, Azarelli, and Ignacio. Guys, how was your week? Good morning, Ignacio.
Hello, good morning.
How was your week?
My week, pretty good. This week, I went to the gym. I went to some place with my friends, some funny places, and also I went with my girlfriend.
Oh, excellent. Great, Ignacio. How much does the gym cost? Anyone knows? I'm curious.
Between 400 and 500.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So how far, so far, have you enjoyed this seminar? Anyone? what's your opinion about this seminar? Marilene?
I think it was too short.
Too short.
Sure.
Georgina, what do you think about the content of this seminar?
I like the content, but I had problems to understand all the words that are in the poems and stories.
I understand. I understand. Jose Luis, so far, what have you liked the most? What content?
Well, for me, I think it makes work easier when we work or when we see things that we already know. For example, I already know about Beowulf. I already saw the movie Oliver Twist years ago, the clip that I saw this week. So I know the movie very well. For Roman Polanski was the director. So when we work on things that we already know, it's kind of fun, kind of easy. But like you heard Hina say, the poems, because they're writing in, I believe, not the English we know today, are kind of hard to understand sometimes. The poems.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jose Luis. Yes, indeed. The way that these authors write is kind of difficult to understand. But once you understand the poems, they have great quality. And the passion, the love, I don't know, they're
Yes,
beautiful.
they're masterpiece.
Masterpieces, yes, masterpieces, yes. And also Charles Dickens was the one that wrote this book called The Christmas Carol. I don't remember the name in Spanish. Un cuento de Navidad, I believe, in Spanish.
Yes, yes.
And this,
About old man.
sorry?
It was about an old man.
Exactly, yes, about Ebenezer Scrooge, sorry?
Yes, Scrooge. Yes, I know.
And it's a story that we have seen many times, right? In movies, in cartoons also. Very interesting. Okay, we're going to begin. I'm going to begin sharing my screen with you. Please let me know when you see my presentation.
I can see it.
We see it.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Okay, before I forget, please, if in any given time you see that I disappear, it's because I have problems with my internet, and we're going to resume once I solve the problem. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. As you have seen in this week, we went through two different periods of English literature. The first one was the romantic period or romanticism, with the two poems from Lord Byron. The first one was titled She Walks in Beauty, and the second one was about When We Two Parted. Those poems are very are an icon of the romantic period. And then the second work was from Charles Dickens, and its novel Oliver Twist. And that novel is also is very iconic of the Victorian age or the Victorian period. And the Victorian age is most well remembered because of the Queen Victoria, that was the ruler of England in that period of time. And also it was the peak of the Industrial Revolution that began, as you remember, in England. But also there were many issues. And the first of all was child labor. Child labor was very common. And they were expected to work the same hours and do the same things that a grown person could do or would do. So Charles Dickens was very famous or is well remembered for putting these problems, these social problems in the spotlight. How? Using his novels. Using his novels, he created awareness that these issues were very problematic. Child labor, poverty, the work hours of the people, etc., etc. So when we talk about the Victorian age, we have to talk about Charles Dickens and his work.
Teacher,
Yes.
I would like to talk something about Jack the Ripper, because wasn't that time, right?
Exactly, exactly. Yes, Jack the Ripper. Exactly. Yes.
Fascinated with, sorry to.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. Yes, very interesting. And he was never caught. He was never caught. Despite that Scotland Yard, the most famous investigation office in that time, put great effort in the search of this criminal.
Yes.
Some people say that he was, sorry?
Theory of conspirations.
Exactly.
Conspiration theories is the word.
Exactly. Some people say, as Jose Luis says, that he was a member of the royal family. And that's the reason that he never was caught. But yes, that's a conspiration theory, as Jose Luis says. Okay. So working with the two first poems from Lord Byron, that in my personal point of view are beautiful. Let me show you the first poem. Allow me just 1 second, please. Allow me just 1 second. And here is the first poem, which is titled She Walks in Beauty. And the poet was Lord Byron, also known as George Gordon. Give me 1 second. Guys, who's missing? Is missing Lluvia and who else?
Renee is here.
Renee's here, yes.
Liliana is here.
Liliana, exactly. Thank you. Liliana. Thank you. Okay, let's resume. Jose Luis, choose a victim, please.
Okay, Gabby.
Thank you. Gabby, can you help us read the first stanza, please?
Yes, of course. She walks in beauty. She works in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies.
Thank you, Gabby. Gabby, what do you like or what do you understand from this particular stanza?
I think that the author tries to describe a special bright of a person. I think that that kind of things are too difficult to say, to describe. It's a characteristic that is difficult to describe of a person, and he tried to say that she was beautiful, and maybe that her eyes um, conveys that beauty, I think.
Thank you. Yes, very well. Thank you. Yes, when you were talking, I remember the words that one of my my friends said to me once about the person he loved, and he told me, when I see her, when I look at her, I see a light that she portrays, and it's a light that only I can see. So wow, and I remember this word because that's very, it's very that will be very interesting what he was saying. Sorry. Yes, somebody was saying something, and
That um, Shakespeare wrote about the woman he loved. Totally the opposite.
yes, give me a second.
He used a very common type of poems when the author compares the beauty of the woman he loves with the beauty of some other things, like in this case, the night. He compared the beauty of the woman with the beauty of the night.
I think this is so exaggerated, but I think that when we are in love, we exaggerate everything.
Yes,
But he not only mentions that she is he doesn't compare her to the dark and bright, but says the best of dark and bright. Like we say in Spanish, lo mejor de lo mejor.
Yes.
exactly. Yes, yes. And I believe that we all have had that feeling, right? We have experienced that feeling, that emotion that sometimes we can't describe in words, but it's a very powerful force that we feel.
This poem sounds to me when a young person about 13, 15 years old is barely learning or thinking he or she already knows everything about love, la cursilería.
Yes, yes. There is a word for in English for cursilería.
I can't remember of it.
Cheesy. I believe cheesy is one of the words.
Cheesy is like when we feel like como muy avergonzados, pero cute, algo así.
Uh-huh. But there's another one for cursilería. I'm going to remember in a few moments.
Algo así como tawdriness, algo así.
How, Aaron?
Algo así como tawdriness, no me acuerdo, algo así.
Childiness.
Eso mero, según yo.
Childiness. That's a new word for me. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Aaron. And yes, as you were saying, all of you, all of your comments, this poem, She Walks in Beauty, is very iconic of the Romantic period because yes, in Romanticism, the goal of the poet or the artist was to idolize a person, to promote the most beautiful aspects of a person or a feeling or an emotion. And that's why this particular poem is very representative of that period, the Romanticism or Romantic period. Gabby, can you choose another person, please?
Georgina.
Georgina, thank you. Can you help us with the next stanza, please? Next stanza, sorry.
One shade the more, one ray the less, hath impaired the nameless grace, which waves in every raven trees, or softly lightens o'er her face. We throw suddenly, sweet express, how pure, how dear, their dwelling place.
Thank you. Georgina, what do you get or what do you understand or what is particular of this poem for you?
For me, I really don't understand a lot of this, but has having pairs named and grace. A grace that cannot be mentioned, I don't really understand. Is like I say, this is difficult for me.
Okay, oh, don't worry. Somebody else that wants to share something about this particular stanza? For instance, says here that as Medium said, in all that's best of dark and bright, meet in her aspect and her eyes. And this tender light that is that the day hasn't seen, uh, and says it's beautiful. And if there were a little more shade or a little more darkness or a little more moonlight, it will have spoiled the beauty of the moment or the beauty of the person. And it's so beautiful that we cannot give it a name. It's nameless, but it's so beautiful that it cannot be named, it cannot be described. The nameless grace, which is described in the way that every raven dress, and in the way her hair, the trenzas of her hair, fall in his face, in her face. And this and the way that her hair falls in her face, lighten up her face, provides more light to her face.
Teacher,
Yes.
when saying that the best of the dark and the light meets her eyes, I understand that the author wants to mention that the outer beauty, the physical beauty he is describing, he notices also the inner beauty, because it says one ray more or one ray less. Like when we say, es que está hermosísima por dentro y por fuera, sin poder explicarle si o sea, sin ponerle de más o de menos, simplemente es hermosa. So when he says that how pure is, I think that's what he means, that she is so pure and that when her hair falls, it slightly lightens her face. So when, like saying, se le nota su pureza, su belleza interna.
Exactly, yes.
Yes, I agree. I think that he tried to through the outer beauty tried to describe her inner beauty, but it's too difficult because you can see the inner beauty of a person just with her or his outer beauty. But he tried in this poem to describe her lover.
Yes,
Like,
that's why
that
he
way.
says
It is like a balance
it
among
means
darkness and light.
Exactly, yes, yes. According to this poem, the physical appearance, which is beautiful of this woman, is a reflection of her inner beauty, how pure she is in and out. Yes, that's yes.
I could imagine a person as an angel.
As a,
Beautiful in her outer appearance, but beautiful in her inner beauty. So that's an angel.
yes, yes. And yes, yeah, you can understand very well the meaning of this poem. Yes, her 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 appearance is a reflection of her inner beauty. Exactly. Georgina, choose somebody else, please.
Josue,
Josue, can you help us, please?
Yes. And on that cheek and or that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent. The smiles that win, the teeth that blow, but tell of days of goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent.
Thank you,
At the
Josue.
beginning, at the beginning, when I read the first time the poem, I thought that he was writing about the moon, not about a woman.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, he's talking about a woman, and some people believe, or some people say that he wrote this poem on the inspiration, of a very particular woman. But yes, in this case, says on that cheek, on her or that brow, that the look of her head, of her face, so soft, so calm, but even though it's so soft, so tender, so innocent, you can't you can't you can't avoid looking at her. It's, she's so calm, but she's so beautiful, she's so innocent, she's so pure that you have to look at her. There's no way that you can avoid looking at her. Yet somebody was saying something.
teacher, for
Yeah.
example, with the last straight, I heard whose love is innocent. I can think about a mother.
Oh, okay.
Most of the mother always are there, and the love is always unconditional.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Exactly. You could say also that that a mother's love is unconditional, like you say, and it's always there for us. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Yes, because that's the intention. To write about a love that never ends, a love that is pure, a love that never fades, a love that despite everything is always going to be there. Yes, like a mother's love. And says here, but tell of days a goodness spent. That just she's pure, she's innocent, she's a good person, and her inner beauty reflects on her personal appearance. And this is the first poem. She walks in beauty. She's beauty herself. So very, very beautiful poem in my personal point of view. Now I'm going to be sharing the next one. The next one, which is titled When we two parted. Just give me a second. Also by the same author, Lord Byron or George Gordon. When we two parted. Josue, please choose somebody else.
He has problem with the
Oh,
internet.
somebody else, please, that wants to read the first stanza.
Me.
Thank you.
When we two parted in silence and
Sorry, there.
when we two parted in silence and tears, half broken hearted to sever for years, pale grew thy cheek and cold, colder thy kiss, truly that hour foretold sorrow to this.
What do you think, Miriam?
Well, I understand that the author is heartbroken and he feels sorrow, and he mentions there is silence and tears when they were separated. So I can perceive his heart broken.
Yes, exactly. Yes, when we two parted in silence and tears. Some scholars believe, some scholars think that he wrote this poem when he uh, because he was having an affair with a certain lady, a very important lady. So it was a secret affair. And by some reason, they had to split. Uh, and since it was a secret affair, they had to do it also in silence, in secrecy. But it was painful for him. When we two parted in silence and tears, I was, like Miriam says, brokenhearted. And this feeling of sorrow has lasted for years. So he's yearning for that person, even though several years had passed. And when they said goodbye, the feeling that he was experiencing, the sorrow, uh, is the same feeling that he is experiencing right now, in spite of the years that have gone by. Thank you, Miriam. Somebody else, choose a person, Miriam, please. Choose somebody else.
Ephraim?
Thank you, Efrain. Can you help us?
The dew of the morning, sun chill on my brow. It felt like the warning of what I feel now. The vows are all broken, and lights is the fame. I hear the name spoken and share it in its shame.
Thank you, Efrain. What do you think about this part of the poem?
I think that it is the end of a relationship, and he feels sad. Oh
Yeah.
no.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes, somebody else.
Yes, I wanted to say my opinion on this point. I believe Byron's talk about a breakup, and I feel that he continued to regret that breakup for a long time.
Yes, I also think that he felt really bad for starting this affair because he says that I hear the name spoken and share in its shame. So when every single time uh, he heard the name of this person that he had the affair with, he felt ashamed. So
Yes.
it does sound like it was an extramarital affair or Of course, it was not his wife because he wouldn't have felt this way.
Yes,
Yes, he's expressing his grief also, I think.
exactly.
Frustration and disillusion when he listens to other people talk about her.
Yes, and he mentions thy vows are all broken. I can imagine that they had their vows in secret, but once they had to break up, he felt this way that the vows were broken. Although they were secret vows, once they wouldn't even get to accomplish them because it was all in secret.
Exactly. Yes. It's very important, this part, because it provides light to understand this part of the poem. Thy vows. This is a very fancy way of writing. Thy means your. Your vows are all broken. I hear thy name. I hear your name spoken. Yes, the dew of the morning. Dew means rocío or sereno. The dew of the morning sunk chill my brow. It felt like the warning of what I feel now. How I feel cold. There's coldness in my heart. Yes, and as Miriam says, the vows are all broken. I can imagine that what they promise to each other, I'm going to love you forever. I'm going to leave my wife. I'm going to leave my husband. Uh, our love is true. What I feel for you is never going to end. You name it. You name it.
But
But
teacher,
now, yes,
I'm so sorry.
yes.
I also think that she wasn't a good woman because in the part I hear your name spoken, I think it's a person that the people in those times the people spoke. That's a really bad thing.
Yes,
So
exactly.
for that
Continue.
reason, he felt so sad and changed because she he was in love with a bad girl.
Yes, because there was gossip going around, so it meant that maybe it was a person who continuously had affairs with certain people.
Yes,
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, because says here, and light is thy fame. So that says that me queda medio casco ligero, right?
yes,
And light is thy fame. And
Yes, that's why I mentioned that. I think that um, he wrote, "I hear thy name spoken and share in its shame," because he really felt bad for even initiating a relationship with this person because it was, like you said, the cascos ligeros, maybe. So that's why he feels so ashamed. But on the other side, he also felt very heartbroken because they even had vows that they wanted to accomplish. Like like they say now, oh, I'm gonna leave my wife for you because I am so in love with you, but it never happened.
exactly. Yes. Guys, there's a minute left. So I'm going to end this session and we'll continue right away. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to end the session and we continue in a moment.